Call this meeting to order. Can we have a roll call, please?
Yes, Treasurer Diosa.
Here.
Dean Rondo. Here. Mark Carullo.
Yeah.
Let's see. Michael Cicerone.
Here.
Joe Codiga. Here. Matthew Howard.
Here.
Yan Lee.
Here.
Alana Mertens.
Here.
William Murray.
Here.
Andrew Noda not here. Here Newell will be not on board as of this month. Alan Palazzo.
Here.
Sandra Paquette.
Here.
Dr. Shaw Hughes.
Here.
Michael Toohey.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, thank you very much. I will now seek the approval of the draft meeting minutes of March 11, 2026. For the retirement board meeting. So moved. Second. Any comments or edits? Seeing none, so moved. Great. We will now move on to the executive director's report.
Thank you, Treasurer. A couple small details and a couple bigger ones. So, in your board materials is the draft notice for election seat. This is the first meeting she's not at, obviously. We've been working at the staff level. We have all the data pulled, and that will be being sent to the mail house this week. So that should be filled for our June meeting. If there's any questions on that process, I'm happy to follow up and answer them. I also wanted to
Any
make
questions on that process from anyone? Okay, there's been a lot of questions on that, but.
also want to make two updates on committee membership. Matt Howard will be replacing Claire Newell on the disability subcommittee. That'll be starting in the next meeting with orientation scheduled later this week, I believe. And we are in need of a non-elected member to join the member services committee. And so I wanted to say that here in this meeting, but then I'll send a follow-up. Everyone feel free. I believe the way Frank did this was everyone could express interest if they wanted to. It would be valuable to have that committee meet ahead of some of our upgraded web experience that will be coming later this spring or the summer. Then we'll also allow when the new elected member comes them to express interest in what committees they would like to serve on. So that's my brief update on the election and the committee membership. Then there's the two kind of main items for my report are an update and a review on security and cybersecurity. So we have talked about several times that the retirement system makes up less than half of this physical office here. We're shared operations with Treasury. Tiffany Cashel is our chief operating officer. Lauren, who is helping us keep track of our fire count today, is our deputy. They've kind of reviewed critical functions, everything from do we have like clear paths from every desk to a fire exit? Does everyone know what it is? Like little things up to like bigger things. How are we managing our data? And that goes into working closely with Justin on cybersecurity. One thing we've noticed, like we do have a lot of sensitive information in this office, and we want to know when people are coming and going and be able to watch it. So, and we've also had some headaches with badges expiring and or Mr. Nada not here today. Actually having a badge is not expired but not working. And the root cause, it turns out, is they upgraded the badging system at some point. Some people with older badges don't have the most current physical kind of badge. So our process is going to be as follows. Lauren and Tiffany will send an email out to board members to follow up on this. This does not apply to the state employees here, but for the purpose of a retirement only badge. So the state employees, your access would stay the same. We're not doing anything to your badge. For other members, we'd like to collect all badges. There are several members that have multiple badges at the next meeting. We will then take fresh photographs and have badges reissued with expiration dates that correspond to your term on the board. The badges will continue to work for parking in this facility and for entrance in the building. But on board days, we'll have someone greeting at the back door of the actual office, and or if you want to use the elevator, you come from the front and we'll let you in that way. So that way it's not, open pass at any time to any part of Treasury. If you have an appointment in the retirement system, you'll schedule it and meet with us. So that will be happening in our next meeting to get the physical badges made.
Yes, but those of us who are appointed, we serve until we post. What, if the term expires, will the badge expire? Or will it?
I think we would, I think there's a cycle on which replacement would naturally be made, and then at that point, we would update it. Even though, so you have obviously served the board for a long time across multiple governors who have appointed you. So it would work until, there was a date that.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions on physical security?
Well, with regard to you said the next meeting, according to the schedule, there's none during May because we have training. Do you have a firm date for that?
I believe this was updated both in convene and you were sent a Outlook, event. And I apologize if there's anything that's out of order. In the last several meetings, we talked about not having a training May, and we've been bringing the training curriculum into each meeting. So we're kind of doing sessions on different topics. So last meeting, we did a whole session on investments. This meeting, we're doing a whole session on cybersecurity. And in May, the actuary will be here. So we do have a regular meeting in open session because we wanted to talk about the experience study in open session rather than in a training.
Do we have a date yet?
Yes, that's May 20th.
May 20th.
Hopefully that should be on everyone's calendar. If it's not on everyone's calendar, I apologize. But I'm confident that invitation has gone out. Good question.
Okay. Point of order, and maybe this is the time to do it. I've been going back and forth on emails with the general treasurer and the executive director regarding questions relative to information that I think everybody here, and especially the members of the system, both active and retired, should be aware of. And I've been going back and forth. He's offered to do a one-on-one with me, and I'll arrange that after. But my questions concern the UAL. Everyone knows what that is. And I was attempting to determine what the UAL was when
Indicate what it is.
unfunded accrued actuarial accrued liability. And I was attempting to find out what it was when ERSRI 2011 was originally established. And you know, my background in strategic research at the War College. I went in, the only data that I could find actually goes back 10 years. And I find it amazing that the total back in 2015 was $4.5 billion. The current unfunded liability as of 30 June was 4.375 billion. That means after 10 years documented of 30,000 retirees not receiving COLAs, it has only decreased $177 million. I don't have the initial numbers, but this data came from.
Can I make a point here as Secretary of the Board, Patrick, feel free to correct me. This is not on the agenda.
I had asked that it be placed on the agenda, and I sent you an email saying I would address it either during.
I responded that we are having an entire session dedicated to training and understanding on the actual evaluations next month. I sent that to you.
Excuse me, Andrew. The point of order is I asked you that this be placed on the agenda either in the chair's report or your report. I never get a response back, okay? It's a simple question, and I'm going by data available on the General Treasurer's website and the ERSRI system website. It's here. It's actually slide 11 of the GRS report from December. This is an educational experience that I think everyone needs to know. You're talking a $13.156 billion valuation, and the unfunded liability was $4.5 billion. I got into the reports as you suggested. I have data, but the point is $177 million decrease from 30,000 people not having received the COLA over 10 years. I don't know what it was initially, and to me, they need to know. And you can say it's not on the agenda. I requested that it be on the agenda during the two reports, and that's all I'm going to say. I mean,
I would just like to share with everyone. The valuations going back to 2006 are all posted online.
the unfunded liability, sir.
So the unfunded liability is calculated in the actuarial valuation.
And the only actual valuation online is the last one. They don't go back to 2006.
We could provide.
That's what I'm trying to find out. I do research. I spent a lot of time researching and the information isn't there. I've gleaned what the data is. The state required contributions, the sick report lists the values. The 1 year total plan benchmark return was $1.8 billion. The 5 year total benchmark report alone 1.7.
We'll send you all that information.
That's all I wanted to do, and I'll do the one-on-one.
Yeah.
But
And then
when
next month,
I ask
have,
simple questions and I'm not getting answers.
Okay.
And I recall you, when I was first elected, I wasn't even on the board. You said you don't have to inform the governor, just ask me for it and we'll get it.
Yeah.
And I went to the director, so I just wanted to lay that out.
We'll send you all that information, and then next month we also have that session. So-
And at our last meeting, when I asked the valuation of the pension fund, you immediately turned to Gonzalo, and that afternoon, not only did it post for 1 month, it posted for 2, and I want to thank you for that. But I know the numbers, I study them, and we'll go from there.
Thanks.
So now I'd like to introduce Justin Miller, just give you like a 1 second kind of reorientation to why he's here, why we're talking about this. Excuse me. Justin is our director of cybersecurity. It has kind of long been across several years an audit comment of worry that we needed to have some direct control over our cybersecurity in addition to the resources provided by the state. That was planned for, budgeted for. They did a national search and we hired Justin. Justin started about a month after I did, even though he had been hired before me. So we have been getting to know each other. This is kind of served two purposes. One, since it was a significant effort in the board to find someone to fit this role, I wanted to give you guys an update on his activities. Two, just so you kind of have some understanding of how we're operating. He's not just like the IT guy. He will help you with an IT problems, but he's a member of the senior staff. We meet regularly. And we are thinking about cybersecurity as kind of integrated into our basic, structural management of the system. Everything from how data is going to come in the front door to how we store things, how we organize things. So he's an important thought partner, both in teaching us about cybersecurity and also about the change management needed to implement good practices. So we're going to do two things. That's his agenda. He's going to give us a general presentation on his activities and some training for the board on what we're doing. We then, in the next agenda item, will be reviewing something you've done every year, which is the cyber insurance policy, and we'll be reviewing that as a second presentation.
All right. As Andrew said, Justin Miller, I'm your director of cybersecurity here. I have a quick agenda.
You following Julie Andrew,
Um,
I did. You know, Justin.
I'll give it to you, Roxanne.
So thank you again for that introduction. I'm going to actually just cover a couple of those quick points again. And I'll talk about some of our current initiatives and some future roadmap things. And then we'll have time for Q&A. As Andrew said, my position was created in response to auditors planning to develop a cybersecurity maturity program. And to kind of bring the whole treasury as a whole up to current best practices. And as you also described, I'm our senior staff. I meet with the COO and executive director regularly. I also work with all the divisions within the Treasury. There's a lot of cross-pollination in terms of work processes, workflows, and having a consistent security presence across all of those is both necessary and helpful to elevate the security posture of the entire Treasury. So what have I been doing the last 5 months? I've gone through and met with all the department heads. I've created a technology inventory and spoken with everyone a lot of the staff to learn what software are they using, what hardware are they using, what vendors are in play. And during that time, I've created a map of all of our data locations. I've also tried to classify all of those components of data. And I presented all this to the treasurer to try to talk about where we're very mature in terms of security posture, in terms of IT, and where there's room for improvement. So these next couple of points are some of the low-hanging fruit that I saw, things that we can improve really quickly to increase our security posture. Very first one, I've implemented a treasury-wide password manager system. So what that is, anytime your Chrome browser asks you, hey, do you want to save this password? That isn't necessarily the best or safest place to save it. So this password manager software that we've been implemented is an encrypted cloud-based system that allows us to safely secure and store all of those passwords for staff. What this also does, it eliminates the password spreadsheet on your desktop. It eliminates the sticky notes on your keyboard. So all of that information is now in this secure system. We've also implemented a new IT service management system. And what that is it governs the server and machine patching throughout the treasury. It also provides some monitoring. So we have greater visibility into our vendors' performance. If they go down, we know immediately. And lifecycle management, which is something that we also didn't have a good grasp on when I first started. A good analogy that you guys are familiar with in terms of lifecycle management, the iPad replacement program. As you guys are coming due for replacements, I think we're swapping out 5 or 6 of you guys each month until all of you have new devices. I've also started leveraging a lot more of the state resources. So ETSS has an amazing program to provide managed detection and response. So we actually leverage their endpoint security software. Along with that, they also have a patching solution. So it's pretty common to have 2 patching solutions. For some reason, one just never can patch everything. So now we actually have 2 systems in place that kind of work in lockstep to make sure that all of our endpoints and workstations in the treasury are all patched to their greatest extent possible. In addition to that, we participate with that phishing training initiative that ETSS runs, and that's actually running right now. So our staff get simulated phishing emails to kind of train their proficiency, and just to make sure that there's also an education component. I think there's just like a slideshow with a quiz that kind of makes sure that staff are knowledgeable and know what to look for when phishing attacks do occur. If they fail the quiz, there's some remediation in terms of another training session that they have to go through. I'm also working right now to upgrade and enhance the Word Wireless, so that the 4040 network. It's been somewhat behind the times in terms of technology, so we're working to upgrade that right now. And then one of the initiatives that I think the previous executive director kicked off, Compass ITC, is helping us do penetration testing with our primary pension vendor, TELUS. And that's also borne fruit. We've had a couple of critical vulnerabilities we found and passed off to TELUS, and they've already fixed them. So we're doing very well in that arena. So in terms of future initiatives, one of the big ones that's on my radar is post-quantum cryptography. So the backstory on this is, at a certain point in the future, and they're projecting 2030, computers will become so powerful they can crack all the encryption we currently use. So to prepare for that, we're going to start insisting, because we're so vendor heavy, in terms of our business processes. The best way to get over that hurdle is to actually incorporate language in our contracts that say must use post-quantum cryptography compliant security certificates right now. So in the next 2 to 3 years, we're going to start incorporating that in all of our contracts, all of our IT contracts, to ensure that our vendors are ahead of that 2030 wave when everything kind of changes.
So is that gonna be the norm in this, like, the standard in the industry, or is that gonna be something that is gonna be unique that we're gonna have to actively go out and seek from people as time goes on?
They already have UC compliant security architectures right now. So it's not like we're so cutting edge that nobody has it. Yeah, it's very doable right now. And we just need to push on our vendors to make sure that we have that in place before we hit that 2030 period.
Thank you.
Yeah. Along those same lines, continuing to craft IT policies and security policies that are unique to the Treasury. I have about 13 kind of in various states of review and process. And we've just recently rolled out one for generative AI, and then we had kind of a Q&A sit down session with all staff to explain, hey, what are safe uses of generative AI? What does the policy cover? What should you avoid? And it was very successful. And we'll continue to do that as these policies roll out. Along with some of the initiatives that we're currently working on in terms of the data mapping, we want to try to make our internal SharePoint more searchable and more tagged. This will help it both in terms of usability and in terms of data retention. So once we hit those retention schedule limits, we'll know which data can be then purged and safely removed. And I also want to integrate more of our monitoring with the state, with EPSS, and leverage their SOC resources. That'll just make us safer and stronger. I have just a little bit of time for Q&A.
Any questions? No? Good, thank you.
Good job. So you said it there. So the next agenda item is then for us we're going to continue on cybersecurity. Both Gene, Chair of the Admin Committee, and the Treasurer wanted me to kind of emphasize this. Often we would go to committee to discuss a contract renewal and then bring it to the board with a recommendation. This year we have just one this month, and so we're not setting any precedent, but I very much wanted it to be a board discussion and part of our training to hear about the cyber insurance renewal at the same time. So we would always vote on this as a board, and that in previous years has been voted and done in executive session. But we kind of didn't go. We don't want it to be any precedent that we won't take contracts to the admin committee, but we wanted the board to kind of hear the discussion as part of this training. So the next agenda item is to discuss that. And I think we would want to discuss the contract itself in executive session. So Patrick, would you help us phrase how we might want a motion?
Because there's two matters on for executive session, for logistics purposes, we're going to combine the motion. So we'll be seeking a motion to convene into executive session pursuant to Rhode Island General Laws 42, 46, 5A3 to discuss matters regarding security, including but not limited to the deployment of security personnel or devices, regarding the consideration and approval of cybersecurity insurance, and pursuant to Rhode Island General Laws 42, 46, 5A2 to discuss pending litigation regarding the Raymond Lamont versus Municipal Employees Retirement System of Rhode Island, WCC number 2023-06589.
Are those two separate motions or one motion?
It's one motion because we're convening into
I will
one
make
executive
that
session.
motion.
Second, all right, can we have a roll call, please?
Yes. Treasurer Dioso,
Yes.
Gene Rondo,
Yes.
Mark Rulo,
Yes.
Michael Cicerone,
Yes.
Joe Codiga,
Yes.
Matthew Howard,
Yes.
Yen Lee,
Yes.
Elena Burgess,
Yes.
William Murray,
Yes.
Alan Palazzo,
Yes.
Sandra Paquette,
Yes.
Dr. Shaw Hughes, Michael Toohey.
Yes.
Passed.
Thank you. So we will now join executive session.
Before we start that, I just, for 1 minute, as a courtesy to the people who have come today, and just for the sake of those of you who are wondering who are those people, they are people who are members of the state employment, retirement system, the employees' retirement system of Rhode Island, and they wanted to have more of, the personal view on what is going on, and so I just wanted to mention, and I personally thank them for coming to become involved.
All right, so because we're going into executive session, we're gonna have to clear the room from any non-personnel, yes.
Second. Break.
That's tough going into, yeah.
This is how it's.
Right. Yeah, in the meeting, yeah.
Okay.
The action taken, but then, yep.
All right, we are now.
Thank you. Because we're still here there. And then it's the other minutes after reporting.
All right, we're back into session.
There were two votes taken in executive session. The first was to approve the cybersecurity insurance policy and authorize the executive director to seek additional information regarding the solicitation and additionally report back to the board regarding that. The second vote was to withdraw the appeal that was filed in the matter of Raymond Lamont versus Municipal Employees Retirement System of Rhode Island.
Great. I'll take a motion to seal the minutes.
I move to seal the minutes.
Joe, second from Gene, all in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Any nays? No nays, okay, thank you. I will seek the approval of the March 2026 pensions as presented by ERSRI. Get a motion? Motion. Motion on Mike, second by Gene, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? No nays? All right, Doctor,
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve the disability committee recommendations from our April 3rd, 2026 meeting.
I'd like to pull up number 7 for discussion.
all right, we'll make a motion
Numbers 1 through 6, I guess.
through 6. We have a second?
Second.
Second by Gene. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? All right, so move. Number 7.
I was just curious as to why you were the only contrary vote on this case.
Yeah, it was me on this one.
Okay.
Yeah. See. I think the rest of the committee did not think that the applicant's PTSD was related to the job, and I did.
I tend to agree with you, especially since 2 of the doctors that they went to go see also agreed with that assumption, so. Thank you for that information.
Right, so I'll make a motion to approve the disability committee's recommendations on number 7 from our April 3rd meeting.
Second. Thanks. All right, Stewie. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays?
Nay.
Okay, all right. Noted. All right, motion moves. We have a motion to adjourn. Now, second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, so moving as adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Sorry.